Okay, so as a matter of fact, let me make sure. I'm what I'm going to start doing in the beginning of every video. I'm going to pause before I start really getting into the topic, and I'm going to watch the timer on the camera to make sure that the beginning of the video is actually recording before I'm a few minutes in and realize that it's not recording. So that's how I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't happen to me again. But I'm gonna sit here and I'm working a puzzle right now. So normally I work the puzzles I converted one of my closets over to a puzzle area. But a lot of times, like at night, when the babies sleep, if I'm like binge watching one of my shows or something, and especially if it's a small puzzle like the ones I'm working on now and they're kind of small, I'll sit on the side of the bed and I'll put like a frame, the back of a frame on the bed, and I'll do the puzzle on that. And I was about to binge watch one of my shows, but I said let me redo this video while all the information that I had to say is still fresh on my brain. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do this video. It's not the best lighting. I don't care, because I was in really good lighting earlier when I was at the restaurant. I was sitting outside. It was the natural sunlight, all of that good stuff going on, only for it to not be recording, right? So I'm gonna re-record. I don't get to show you all the good food that I had. I don't get to show you the mocktails that I had and all of that. But anyway, just take my word for it that the food was good, that the mocktails were good. And maybe another day I'll be able to go to the restaurant and show it to you and the camera acts like it has some sense. So anyway, and I know the title of this video is going to be absolutely crazy, but I titled that like that on purpose because I'm tying a few different ideas in together, and I'm like, well, what can I title this? And I'm like, let me title this something crazy that'll get their attention, right? So I want to start. So I know I don't here lately I haven't been doing many life insurance videos, but I have to I have to discuss this. And the channel, like I said, it will always be about insurance, although I'm branching out and I'm talking about other stuff and the new business and all of that. The channel started with life insurance, so life insurance will always be a focal point of this channel. So I want to talk I don't know about y'all, but I grew up hearing people say, if you don't pay nothing else, make sure you pay your rent, or I guess mortgage, if that's your situation. If you don't pay anything else, you pay your rent or your mortgage, right? You can be in the house in the dark as long as that rent or mortgage is paid. See, this is what happened early when I was at the restaurant. I was supposed to be having so much of this puzzle done, and I call myself being a good multitasker, and I guess sometimes I can be, but I get to talking and, I'm looking at the camera and all that, and I talk with my hands, so it's not much puzzling going on. But anyway, I'm going to try to do both. So anyway, even if I'm not looking in the camera, y'all can still hear me. So like I said, I grew up hearing, if you don't pay nothing else, you pay your rent. People have always said that. And that is the mindset that I want people to adopt when it comes to life insurance. If you don't pay anything else, you pay your rent or mortgage and your life insurance. I might have to get it on a t-shirt. I might have to update my life insurance business cards and find a way to make that fit. Make it sound good. If you don't pay anything else, you pay your rent or mortgage and your life insurance. And the reason why I say this is because I've been seeing, I haven't been doing a whole lot, of insurance. I'm still active. I'm still active in insurance, but the amount of volume that I used to do insurance, it decreased since I had the baby, right? But I have an agent under me. And I also, life insurance agents we're constantly in contact with, just like any other field, and a lot of what I'm seeing lately, and it's not lately. I mean, I guess it's something that always happens in the business, but it has come up quite frequently here with, some clients of mine and some clients of some of my colleagues where, the policy has lapsed, and when they attempted to reinstate it, it was in that too late phase. Not necessarily too late in every case, but I'm going to explain what I mean. So what a lot of people may not know, and I probably should just give up on this puzzle until after I'm done with this video, because as y'all see, I'm not puzzling at all, right? What a lot of people don't realize is that and I'm not advocating for anybody to let their policy lapse, but in the event that life happens, funds get low, whatever happens with your finances. I know a lot of times, when money gets low and people got to figure out how to make ends meet, things get tough. The life insurance is one of the first things they let go, right? It just that's just the way it is. It just happens to be lower on the priority list than some of the other bills. And I guess I can get it. I get it. But from an agent standpoint and seeing the results of that, I want people to I want people to prioritize it a little more, because what I've been seeing a lot lately is, and this is what I don't think people know, if in the event that your policy does lapse, get it reinstated as soon as possible, as soon as you can, because what I've been seeing is, and what a few other agents have been seeing is, someone will pass away, the policy has lapsed, and the loved one or the beneficiary will call wanting to know, is there anything that can be done? They had this policy for all these years. They paid into it. They fell on hard times. The policy lapsed, but the insured has now passed away. They want to know, is it anything that can be done? In some cases, it is something that can be done. Depending on how long the policy has been lapsed, there's a certain time frame. There's a certain time frame that if you don't go outside that time frame, you can reinstate the policy. This is even after the person has passed away. Even after the person has passed away, if it's not outside of a certain time frame that the company allows for reinstatement, you can call, you can say, your loved one passed away. If it's still within inside that window, what they'll do, and it's not a guarantee, it's not every company, and it's not a guarantee that they allow you to, but under certain circumstances, they will. So treat it like, if you're ever in a situation where a policy has lapsed and a person passes away, call just to see. You never know. The worst they can tell you is no. But don't assume that it's going to be a no, and just don't attempt to get the money, because you never know. You could be still within that window where you can get where they'll still pay out. So let me tell you how it works. So if you're within that window and you're still within that window and you call and your loved one has passed away, and they're going to allow the reinstatement, what happens is you'll have to pay the missed premium. So let's just say you're 2 months behind. So let's just say your policy is $50,000 and you're 2 months behind, and they say, okay, we're going to allow the reinstatement, although your loved one has passed away. We're going to allow you, to pay the back premiums. What they'll do is, it's rare if ever you'll find a company that will make you come out of pocket up front and pay that. Well, no, I'm not going to say it's rare, because some companies probably, operate that way, where they'll make you pay. Let's just say your premiums are $50 a month. They'll make you make $100 payment, and then they'll release the death benefit. But the way a lot of the companies will do it is, instead of making you pay that back money, they can take it out of the death benefit. So if your policy was $50,000, they'll take 100, you back, if you were back missing 2 payments and your premium was $50, just to keep the math simple, they'll take them 100 out of the death benefit, right? But you have to be within a certain time frame. You can't just if your policy lapses, get it back as soon as possible. Don't just let it linger and linger and linger, because even if your loved one does not pass away, if you go outside of that time frame and you want to get that policy back, and you're not within the reinstatement window, you got to start over from scratch. And the benefit in them allowing you to reinstate it is because you still, in the event that, the insured is still living, the benefit to them allowing you to reinstate it is because you still get it at the same premium. If you've had the policy for a certain amount of time, like let's just say you had the policy for 3 years, you no longer have that contestability, that 2-year contestability period. And remember, contestability isn't the same as, the 2-year wait period with guarantee issue. Now, people get that mixed up, but I covered that in the video. Go back and watch. I dedicated an entire video to that. But, it's certain things that you don't have to go through, if your original policy is reinstated. So let's just say you wanted that policy back and you were outside of that reinstatement window. Well, it won't be that policy. It'll be a different policy. You may be older. You may have to pay more of a premium. The 2-year contestability period starts over. So it's very important, and I understand life happens. But if for some reason you find yourself in a situation where your life insurance policy or the life insurance policy you have on a loved one lapse, get it back as soon as you can. The other thing that I'm seeing is a policy will lapse, and sometimes things trigger us. Oh, I need my life insurance. Life happens. The policy lapse. You're going on with daily life. You may not even be thinking about life insurance, or you may be in the back of your mind, I need to get my life insurance back. I need to get my life insurance back. But then something happens, and that's what makes it a priority. And normally that thing that happens is also the thing that makes it more difficult or impossible to get the policy back, right? So what I've been seeing also is a policy will lapse. It's still within the reinstatement window. However, the thing that triggered the person to want to reinstate it is because they or their loved one got diagnosed with something. Often something that's critical. And that may cause, depending on which company and the level of underwriting they do, and what their criteria is and how they go about reinstatement, that could be what causes them to deny the reinstatement. Or it could be depending on what the diagnosis is, it could be reinstated at a higher amount, which that, if you're in a situation where you were diagnosed with something and they're still going to allow you to reinstate it, paying a higher amount is not the worst thing in the world. But it really is bad if you had this policy for all this time and you're without you're still within the reinstatement window, and then you're diagnosed with something critical, and the only option for you is a guarantee issue policy when you've had this policy for all this time, especially when, because you are diagnosed or your loved one is diagnosed with something critical, and with the guarantee issue policy, you got to outlive the policy by 2 years. And depending on what the diagnosis is, that may not be everyone's reality. So it is really kind of Russian roulette in a sense to let the policy stay lapsed for too long. This scarf is kind of tight. To let the policy stay lapsed for too long. So that's one of the topics that I wanted to discuss as it pertains to life insurance. Prioritize it like you do your rent and your mortgage. One of the other things I wanted to discuss about life insurance is, and I think on the original video, I think I discussed 3 things about life insurance, but I'm telling y'all I'll forget in a minute. So the second thing, I remember 2 of them. If there was a third thing, I'll probably remember as soon as I hang up the in the video. But the second thing is so and it's not uncommon. I'm sure many of you have probably already heard that sometimes credit plays a factor in, getting insurance coverage. But when I say, how long have I been doing life insurance for 7 years now? Maybe 7 years now. Maybe 8, because I've had to renew my license. Oh, anyway, I gotta look back. I can't remember. Maybe it was 2016. It's either 7 or 8 years. I gotta look back at my original license. So I think my hair was locked when I started doing insurance. So if my hair was locked when I started doing insurance, it's only been 7 years. So anyway, so we know, well, some of us know, I'm not sure, many people know that credit can play a part in getting life insurance of any, well, we know it definitely can play a part in your auto insurance, right? But it has never, so I have certain companies that I write more often than others. And one of the companies that's one of the ones that I write quite often, they have a new underwriting criteria. I think they're using some new system where a lot of the underwriting is automated or something to that degree, right? And like I said, I haven't been doing a whole lot of insurance, but I have an agent who's, she signed up under me, and she was telling me that 2 or 3, a few of her clients were denied recently due to credit. And I have never, Like, I never, like, it's a thing that, yeah, it can play a part. And it used to mostly would play a part like when you getting certain riders, like if you're getting like say you were adding a disability um rider to your policy, then they would like ask questions like if you've ever filed a disability claim. And they may go into a little more financial questions when you add in some of the riders, or they do ask about many of the companies ask about your yearly income, because financially things have to make sense. So like if you only make um 10,000 a year, but the premiums that you're paying for the life insurance policy is 15,000 a year, like that doesn't, you're paying more in premiums than you make. So then they start looking at money laundering, different things like that. But credit, in the 7-8 years that I've been doing insurance, has never been like a really big determining fact. I've never had a client denied because of credit, ever. And when I'm doing my questions that I ask my clients before I do the application, and just before I even do the quote, I ask certain questions just so it will help me to get a better understanding of what company they're more likely to get an approval with, right? I have never asked a client about their credit score or bankruptcy or anything like that, because it's never been something that's been a really high factor in underwriting with the companies, right? So to hear recently that a few of my colleagues' clients have been denied due to credit. Now, she said one of her clients, like I said, I believe with this new system of underwriting they have, a lot of it is automated. So she just had to answer a few questions to clear some things up, and one of the clients was able to be approved after she, asked and answered some follow-up questions. But I think the other one, or the other two, theirs was just a straight denial. So this just goes to show how things change all the time in the life insurance industry. Not just life insurance, all industries, right? But where surprisingly some of the companies are making it easier to get insurance, believe it or not. Like some of them are getting a little more lax with some of their underwriting, right? But a lot of them, it's becoming harder to get the coverage. And a lot of them is getting harder with the availability of the products. Like, remember, I used to be able to do that 0 to 100, not 0 to 80, whatever. Starting at age 0, the guaranteed issue policy for people who had health issues, right? They did away. Have another company, by the way. Now, I did this application. This is a company we were determined. Found another company that we could do 0 to 80, or 0 to 85, something like that. Write policies for people with guaranteed issue. I did this application months ago. I don't know why this company is so slow. It's a legit it's a legit company, y'all. But I don't know what's going on. I still don't have my writing number. I still don't have all of the information, and I just haven't. I honestly haven't. I need to follow up. I just don't have time to hound them. Like, where's my writing number? But I have people who need these policies for younger ages. But it used to be quite a few companies, that we could do with the people for younger ages. But it just goes to show how things change. So you kind of want to jump on the policies or get the policies while the getting is good, while you can, because things change in a, rapidly. And now that's going to change the way, that company that's denying people because of credit, it was one of the top 3 in terms of companies that I wrote the most. But I would say it was probably in the 2 ranking. But it's probably going to get bumped down to number 3 or number 4, because like I said, I don't go around asking my clients about their credit score. I've never asked that question. And I don't think I'm going to start. So, I don't know. I may have to, like I said, they may have to get bumped down for one of these companies that don't ask all that and don't be, denying based on credit. But I was just, wanted to let you know that get the life insurance while the getting is good. And when you have the life insurance, prioritize it like you do your rent. And if you happen to fall behind and it lapses, get it back as quickly as you can. I know I had another thing to say about life insurance, but I completely do not remember right now. So I'm going to jump on to the next topic. So remember, I told y'all in my last video that I owed you guys a video about showing up for yourself, right? Remember I said that I told my unofficial business consultant that if it was just the 2 of us at that launch party, we were going to have a good time. And I meant that, right? But it could have just been me. If it was just me at that launch party, I was still going to have a good time. I would have just celebrated with the staff. The staff, they were really good. Like, they were taking pictures of the pieces. They wanted one of the pieces that sold, the one that I sold one at the launch party, and I ended up getting 5 pre-sale orders for that same piece. One of the waitress, hostess ladies, she was interested in that piece. Like, they were really good. I had to make sure they got a decent tip when I closed my tab at the end of the night. It was good, but what prompted me to say that even if it was me and an unofficial business consultant at the party, we were still going to have a good time, because they were like as excited about the launch party as me, if not more so, right? And I started so the spot that I chose to have it in, the area that I reserved held 35 people. And about 32 RSVP. So I started getting not gonna be able to make it and all that. So I was like, you know what? I don't know. At this point, I don't know who's gonna be there. And I don't even care who's gonna be there, because if it's just me and one other person, we're gonna have a good time. And it was a good turnout. Like I said, 32 people RSVP. We know that it's rare that everybody who RSVP shows up, right? So about 23 people showed up. So that was cool. That was decent. Like I said, I had good sales. We had a good time. So, that was cool. But I really did not know. Like, people was asking me, who all gonna come? Who are you gonna be there? I'm like, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know who's going to come. I have an idea of the people who may definitely show up, but I really don't know, right? So, but I'm saying that to say, if it would have just been me and those hostesses, we would have had a good time. Because this is one thing we have to do, that no matter what, we have to make sure, because people will not show up for you. It's just people will not show up for whatever reason. But you can't let that stop you. You can't let that stop you from showing up for you. You can't let that stop you from celebrating you, right? Um, because the show must go on. And if you know that you have a brilliant idea, if you know that you have a excellent business, if you know that you have a wonderful product, keep showing up, keep celebrating yourself, keep promoting it, because eventually, even if it's not the people that you think it's going to be, or even if it's not the people that you want it to be, people going to show up. People are going to show up, right? But even if they don't, you are the most important person in your life. Everyone else, you may have some people who are close seconds, but it's imperative that we prioritize ourselves, because we can't depend on other people to do it. So it's important that we show up for ourselves, because we can't depend on other people to do it. And of course, we all got people who we know, no matter what, they're going to show up, they're going to ride, they're going to cheerlead, they're going to do all of that. But still, it may be a day when they can't. It may be a day when they need you to, well, of course, if that's a person in your life that, they showing up and they cheerleading and all of that, hopefully you're that same for them. But, it may be a day that they can't, but regardless, you have to show up for you no matter what. In life, it tends to, how we treat ourselves, it tends to mirror in how others treat us, right? So you show up for you and others will too. Which leads me to my next point, right? Support. Because that's one a lot of us get caught up on, right? And it may be disappointing if you're supporting everyone, you're supporting everyone and you're not getting that support back from the same people who supported you, or you're not getting that support back from the people who you want the support from. But I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, well, I can just speak for me, but I'm willing to step out on a ledge and say for other people too, right? The support is going to show up. Now, I think a lot of times we get caught up in wanting the support to come from certain people. We want, I supported XYZ, so I want XYZ, the same XYZ that I supported, to support me. Or I showed up for them, so I want them to show up for me. And we get so blindsided, it's like tunnel vision, get focused on the people who aren't showing up and get focused on the people who aren't supporting, that it blocks our sight from the people who are. And that's the message I want to encourage us all to not allow who isn't showing up and who isn't supporting to blind us from who is. Don't focus so much on where it's not coming from and that you miss sight of where it is coming from, because you may, go out and support and cheerlead and always show up for your cousin or your sibling or your mate. Well, if your mate not showing up, that's a whole nother discussion for another day. But anyway, whoever you showing up for, supporting, cheerleading for, whatever, we human. So it may, you may feel some kind of way, you may feelings get hurt, you may be disappointed if they don't show up for you. But I am telling you, it's going to be 7 or 8 other people. For every one person that you feel like should support you that doesn't, or for every one person that you feel like you supported and didn't support you back, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 more people that supports you for every person who doesn't. I'm telling you. So y'all know that I've had quite a few businesses. Look, I probably got quite a few businesses now if I sit down and really, think about it. But anyway, I've had quite a few businesses, and the support, I'm telling you, the support shows up. Let's take for instance, when I was doing massages, more actively. Well, I'm gonna say doing massages because since the pandemic hit, I've only done one massage, and yeah, and I haven't even gotten my PA massage license yet, so that's a whole other story and stuff. But I will eventually get back to doing massages, one day. When I was doing massages, y'all probably don't know, but every now and then every few months I would do raffles. I would raffle off a massage. I would sell the tickets. I think I was selling for $2, 3 for $5 or something like that, right? I'm always like the cheapest guy in town with a lot of stuff, right? Because I know some people probably selling for $5. I don't know, but anyway, I used to sell the raffle tickets. And I've had people who I've never even met in person. We've just followed each other. And we've been in the same online social media circles for years. On a couple of occasions. Okay, you selling the raffle tickets. I'm gonna buy $100 worth. Just pick somebody and bless them with a massage. So in the cases like that where people have bought raffle tickets just as a donation, I would still pick a regular winner. I would keep those tickets separate from the other tickets, and I would pick a winner from the regular raffles tickets that I bought, and then I would pick somebody else just to donate, from the donated raffle tickets. Person never even met in person. Okay. And it's happened almost every time. Most of the time it was the same person. Almost every time I've done raffle tickets, here's $50 and buy $50 worth, donate that massage to somebody. Cool, right? Never met in person till this day. When I was doing the earrings, when I was doing the jewelry, Kids Custom Crafts, and I'm telling you that was a year where stuff got tight for me. Things got rough, and I'm like, you know what? God has blessed you with a lot of talents. You won't have to rely on these talents. I started doing those it was mostly earrings. I started with earrings, but then it started, bracelet, necklace, other stuff. Those crafts paid for my daughter's entire prom. Okay. But I had, I would wrap them, so if I was mailing to people, or if I was giving to people, no, I think if I was mailing them, I would always wrap them up like in tissue paper and then put them in whatever, wrapping. And and I still haven't met her in person to this day. A friend of mine, we've been in the same online circles. She sent me all of this tissue paper, and I was in tears. And it was just tissue paper. But that just goes to show, never met her in person, still to this day. Okay. She sent me all this because I think she must have bought some earrings from me, and it was wrapped up, and I would wrap them in the tissue paper, and she sent me all of this tissue paper, all this different color tissue paper. But that's support. You see what I'm saying? That is support. Then somebody donated all this, so I had started doing the fabric earrings, right? And y'all know I love Africa and all this. Somebody gave me all of this. So I think it was a seamstress, had to be a seamstress, and she had how they have the fabric that's left over from the, you know, the clothes that they make. She gave me all of this African fabric. And I made so many earrings, you know, fabric. And so I don't know what's going on with these earrings but them earrings have been resurfacing lately. I mean, either coming up in memories or people who told me, you know, I look what was tagging me in pictures recently, like 4 or 5 people. Look what I wore today. Look at these earrings. Somebody who wasn't able to make it to the launch party, they text me the next day or a few days later, and they wanted to know what pieces I still had, because although they wasn't able to make it, they wanted to buy, you know, something. And they was like, I'm still waiting for you to bring back earrings. So a lot of these earrings been resurfacing, so I may have to eventually bring, you know, run that back. I don't know, no promises. But then just with the launch party, this launch party that just, you know, launch party I just had, a piece that somebody wanted sold. You know, somebody else got to it first. So they didn't buy a piece, but they donated some money. Somebody else donated money towards the launch party. Here, put it towards, you know, whatever you need for the launch party. Another person donated money towards whatever. Just congratulations on your business. Spend it however you feel necessary. A coworker of mine, friend of mine, she bought me supplies for the business. Surprised me. You know, it was partially a birthday present, you know, and partially because it was around my birthday. So one of the things was for my birthday and the rest of it was for the business. Support. And these aren't people that I talk to on a regular. Well, one of the people that donated towards the launch party was someone I talked to pretty much, I think, daily. But the rest of these aren't people I talk to every day, you know. So I just want to say the support will show up, and when we're out here saying, because I see people make the post all the time, you know, don't nobody support me, don't nobody support me, don't nobody support me. But it's people that support you. And when you're out there, you're saying that, it's kind of like a slap in the face to the people who do support you, right? So we might want to, you know, be careful what we say, because I'm telling you, especially if you out there and you know, you're doing your business to the best of your ability, and you know, you're running your business with integrity, and you know, you just trying to do right, and you're genuinely supporting other people and all of that, it's going to filter back. That's just the way life works, you know? So y'all know I love a good challenge. So I'm going to challenge us all to, when we start feeling like don't nobody support me, or we start, you know, being too focused on the people that's not supporting, I'm gonna challenge us for the next two days. I'm gonna make it easy. Next 2 days, take all of the focus off where we don't think the support is coming from, or where the support isn't coming from. It don't have to be just what we think. Where the support actually is not coming from. Take the focus off of that and put the focus on where the support is coming from. And I bet you, it's, you know, you'll see just how much support you actually have just for 2 days. As soon as you start to think about who's not supporting you, stop yourself in your tracks and instantly think about who does. And then I bet you'll see that you're more supported than you realize, right? And I think a lot of times when people are saying that they're not supported, I think what they really want to say is, I'm not supported by the people who I want to be supported by, or I'm not supported by the people who I think I should be supported by, or I'm not supported by the people who I've supported. But it don't always come back the way, you know, you receive it, you know. let's just look at it in terms of, people who, like Christian people who pay tithes, and, your tithes and offering, and you pay your tithes, and that you may not get that money back from the church, but it tends to come right back to you, you know? And that's not saying that's why you do it. And you're not out here supporting people just so the support can come back to you in another way. But because everything should be from the heart and genuine. But I'm just saying, the blessings don't always come back to you the same way you um was used to be a blessing to others. It doesn't always come back in the same form. And it's the same way with support, right? So this is already as long as the video was at the restaurant. And I forgot this in the earlier video and I was about to forget it again. But yeah, this is already as long as the video was at the restaurant, and I didn't even get to show y'all the good food and all that. So this, speaking of support, let me tell y'all about support. So I posted on my Facebook page the other day, yesterday. I said, was it yesterday? Yes. I woke up yesterday morning and I saw that I had, now this probably not going to be a big deal to y'all, especially if y'all, you a big shot YouTuber and you have all of these followers, or, if you are content creating all this and you have all these followers, this probably not even going to be a big deal to y'all. But for me and my little for now YouTube channel, this is a big deal for me. So I woke up yesterday morning and I had a few comments on my channel. So I was looking at the channel and I realized that I had 98 subscribers, right? So I posted a status and I said, I just need 2 more subscribers to have 100 subscribers, right? So 3 people subscribed. So that took me to 101, right? And I saw that it hit 101. Not long after that, I was back on the channel. I mean, I don't even think it was 2 hours later. I was back on the channel and 1 person unsubscribed, right? But it was cool because my goal for that day, this is not my goal, but my goal for that day, I take it in small increments. I set these goals in small increments, okay? My goal for that day was to reach 100 followers, right? And so I had reached 101. So even though whoever unsubscribed, it still got me, I still had my 100 subscribers. So I was cool with that. So I posted a status and I'm like, thank you, to the people who subscribed. I said I wanted to hit 100 followers. And I hit 101 and then somebody unsubscribed, which took me back down to 100, but I'm still, thankful and glad that I have the 100. So when I posted that, 3 more people subscribed, and then later 2 more people subscribed. So I now I'm at 105, right? But so support, right? A friend of mine who we went to elementary school together and hadn't seen each other for years. Okay, years. I think I did see her last year. She was making cakes or something. She and I went and got a cake or something like that. Something along those lines. She baked me a cake or something like that. Or something with a cake. So I went and picked it up, and I hadn't seen her in years even then, right? I was gonna say 2 years ago, but it was a year ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, because neighborhood insurance baby was in the car. She went to the back and saw him and everything. So but before that, the whole cake thing, I hadn't seen her in many, many years. Okay. We went to elementary school together, and not middle school, not high school. So it has been many years. We reconnected through Facebook. So she commented on the status and she said, "I'm glad that you made 100, you reached your goal of 100 subscribers. I was going to ask you if you wanted me to make another YouTube channel just so I could make another YouTube channel just so I could subscribe and you could reach your goal of 100 subscribers." Now it may not be a huge inconvenience to make another YouTube channel, to help a friend out, subscribe, to help them get an extra, subscriber. But now that is support. For somebody to be willing to make a whole new, or a whole separate YouTube channel just to subscribe to you, to help you reach your goal of 100 followers, that's support. That's an example right there of it's no shortage of support. It's not, So this is already pushing an hour. It's 51 minutes. And I still think it was one other thing I needed to say about life insurance, and I cannot remember. But I do want to say this real quick. If it's an hour, then it just end up being an hour. Okay. Y'all watch hour-long videos and interviews and stuff like that. Y'all can give an hour to the neighborhood insurance lady. Let me just say this. So the channel will always, like I said, insurance will always be a focal point of the channel, and I am still in love. I can talk about insurance all day. I really can still talk about insurance all day. I do still love insurance. But the reality is the reality of the matter is, if you're not someone who's in the life insurance field or something that's directly related to life insurance, you probably don't want to listen about insurance all day, right? I could literally talk about insurance all day, but people don't want to necessarily hear about insurance all day, right? And that's fine. I'm not going to stop talking about it, but that's fine. I am still in love with insurance. I am even still in love with massage, even though, I haven't really done it since the pandemic. But the difference is with life insurance and with massage, I didn't start them from the ground up, right? Like, you go to school, you get your massage license, you become a massage therapist, you do massages, you go to school, you get your life and health insurance license. And just a reminder, if you want to get your life insurance license, do the health insurance at the same time. Don't be like me, because the company that I started with, they didn't offer any health products, so I didn't know no better. Make sure you get your life and health license at the same time, because studying for that health license independently by itself, I'm telling you, just do it. Just do it all at one time. But anyway, you go to school, you get your life and health insurance license, you write insurance policies, right? And massage, so all things happen for a reason. And I really, truly, I always say, if I never do a massage again, the tuition was worth it. The schooling was worth it, because I really feel like the whole purpose of me going to massage school may have been so I could know what to do when my daughter started having seizures. Some of you may know, some of you may not. In 2012, it's almost, yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend. So it was around this time in 2012, my youngest daughter woke up in the middle of the night, like 3 something in the morning, fell out the bed having a seizure, right? And it's just, God is so good because they were all sleeping with me that night. So I heard it, and it woke me up out of my sleep. So so because I was a massage therapist and because I, had gone through this training, I knew that the medical route, I mean, we tried the medical route, but those people were on my nerves. I couldn't. And I knew, certain things to do. So I took her to a natural doctor who did nothing. Well, not did nothing, but, he gave me some drops, some detox drops to put under her tongue. And she has been seizure free since 2012. No, she started having her seizures in 2011. She had the last seizure in January of 2012. So she had the first seizure in May of 2011, and she had the last seizure in January of 2012, and she's been seizure free since then. No meds, just the detox, drops under her tongue. And if I hadn't gone to massage school, I wouldn't have. I've always believed in natural medicine and natural modalities and stuff like that, but because I went to massage school, I knew which route to go. Before I took her to him, because he's so good that he be backed up for like months. So in the meantime, I did some things that I knew how to do, and then I knew to take her to I took her to another practitioner who practiced a modality that it just made sense that it would help with the seizures. And then when I looked it up and when I started doing research, I saw that a lot of parents had success rates with taking their child to get that modality done. Well, I'm just going to say what I took her to get some craniosacral work, in case there's anyone out there who's watching who has a child who has seizures. Look it up. It has been a success for many parents with children with seizures. They got craniosacral work. I learned craniosacral in school, but I wasn't certified. I didn't know enough to feel like I could, do this on my own, to be effective with the seizure. So I took her to a practitioner who was licensed and specialized in craniosacral work. I did that for a while until we were able to get her into the natural doctor who gave her the detox. So if I never do another massage in life again, it was worth every penny of the tuition, right? But again, even though I love massage, even though I love insurance, it's different than, piece of the puzzle is different because I literally started this from the ground up, when I was registering the business with the state, you had to pick like the category that the business is in, and it was no category for it. It was no, and of course, like puzzles aren't new, but what I'm doing with the puzzles and just some other things that I'm, doing, like it wasn't a category for it, and I had to pick the next best thing that still didn't quite fit, and even with the name. So I had sent somebody the link, I think, to one of my YouTube channels, and for some reason they couldn't pull it out. It wasn't coming up for them or something like that. So I said, well, just Google piece of the puzzle. And I don't know why I just look, see, that's my mind is thinking how big I'm going to be soon, right? Like, you're going to Google Piece of the Puzzle and I'm just the only business that's going to pop up. It didn't even, after I said it, I'm like, well, hold up. Let me Google Piece of the Puzzle, because they might Google it and it probably bring up all these businesses that's not even me. So I said, let me Google it real quick. So I Googled it. And yes, there were other businesses. There was quite a few other businesses called Piece of the Puzzle. And some of them spelt with P-E-A-C-E like I do. None of them with the capital A in Peace. But spelt the way I spell mine, same name, except none of those businesses had anything to do with puzzles. So even that, you know what I mean? Like, it's these businesses out here with the same name and none of them have anything to do with puzzles. So I thought that was amazing, right? So, like, yes, this is a business that I started from the ground up. So it's a little, and I love them all. Like, I put my heart into the things that I do. Now, maybe if I'm like doing Instacart or DoorDash, now I'm gonna be a good, like, one thing I'm gonna tell you, like, when I did Instacart, if I was your Instacart shopper, I'm not gonna bring you no wilted vegetable. Now, granted, people eat what they eat. But if I'm, it may not be something that I eat, but if I'm picking a produce for you, I'm not going to pick you a produce that's not quality, that, up to par, that I wouldn't eat myself. You know what I mean? And if this is all they have left in the store, before I buy it, I'm going to send, like, look, let me send you this picture. This is what they have. Is this okay? I'm not just going, so yeah, I had to clarify, because, like, if I'm out there doing Instacart, I'm not just going to bring my customers anything. But it's not like I'm doing it with my, like I'm in love with Instacarting like I am insurance or Piece of the Puzzle or massage, right? It's something different when it's definitely, your business. But Piece of the Puzzle is just a little different because, like I said, I'm starting this from the ground up. It's kind of like reinventing the wheel a little bit. It's no reinventing the wheel involved in getting your massage license and doing massage. Even though I love massage, I love doing the massage events, the massage parties. I love insurance, but it's like it's not something that I started, technically. So that's why I'm like really, really, really in love. And people love massages. But you can't hang a massage in your house, I mean, you can display your life insurance policy, but something about seeing, when my clients send me pieces, pictures of their pieces hanging in the house, it's just different. And like I said, my goal is to, although I want to have clients, insurance clients all over the world too, but my goal was to have pieces all over the world. So oh gosh, I'm over an hour now. I think this might be the longest video I've ever done. So I'm going to end this and I'm going to get to this puzzle, because see, I'm not going to be able to puzzle. I got to puzzle in silence. I mean, I've talked on the phone and done puzzles, but trying to do a video and do puzzles, y'all see, I didn't completely took all focus off that puzzle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this. As always, it's the Neighborhood Insurance Lady, and I'm wishing you love, laughter, and life insurance. No, love, laughter, life insurance, and pieces of the puzzle. And don't be judging my nails, because they was a little bit cute. And see, it's not my middle finger, y'all. It's a ring finger. It was, I showed y'all on the last video one of the nails, but this is the other nail. Why is it not showing up in the camera? What is going on? Where's the cat? Okay, so yeah, I'm a perfect these nails on. I'm a perfect these puzzles on the nails. Speaking of puzzles, they sent me the email with my quote for my business cards today, and I went ahead and approved them to go ahead and make the business. Wait till y'all see. Wait till y'all see these business. wait till y'all see these business cards and wait till y'all see. Okay, this is gonna be a little over an hour and whatever, because I gotta tell y'all this real quick. So the next event is not until September, but I started working on some of the favors and decorations and stuff for the next event. Y'all do not want to miss. Y'all do not. If y'all was at the launch party and y'all thought we had fun and the gift giveaways was good and all that, and y'all y'all do not want to miss this next event. I mean, I am so, and I'm prepping already, and I already done secured my location. I already started working on, I guess they would be considered party favors. I already started getting some of my supplies. It's going to be in September. So that's how serious I am. I'm prepping all these months in advance. And when I tell y'all don't want to miss this one. And so my plan is to host them. I didn't launch the business until March, so I'm a little behind this year. But my plan is to host 4 per year, and then of course I'll be available for other people to hire me to come out. Oh, I gotta go back to support for a minute, for other people to hire me to come out and do events for them. I'm just gonna talk to y'all until I'm done talking. I always be like, I'm not gonna make this video this long, but I got some stuff I need to say, so I'm gonna just say it, and however long the video is however long the video is. So yeah, 4 times a year, and people be able to hire me to come out to do their event. But wait, speaking of support, so my cousin, she has like aqua therapy or something like that. She goes to like aqua therapy or something like that. And the day after the launch, I received a text from her. Hey cousin, my aqua therapist or whatever. I was telling her about your business. I was telling her about the launch party. And her son's birthday is coming up, and she was looking for something different to do, and she thought that might be a good idea. So I told her about you, and so I said give her my number. So I was sitting here working on a puzzle, and she called me, right? And her son's party just happened to be the day before my next event. And I don't know, maybe if I was younger, I could swing them both back to back. But let me tell y'all, last weekend, now y'all know I moved to Pennsylvania, originally from Baltimore. So I had 3 loved ones that was leaving for prom send-offs last week, right? Friday. So I worked Friday. Did I get off? Yeah, I got off early Friday. I worked a half day. I got off at 12:30, but I had a little bit of running around to do after I got off. Some things I need to do, and plus I was prepping for the launch party Sunday. Oh gosh, I'm getting sleepy. I don't know, the puzzle might not. And I was thinking about, I wanted to roll my head, but it don't look like that's gonna happen. So the launch party. So Friday, I had some runner. I had to drive. I drove from Pennsylvania to Baltimore to see my 3 loved ones off for prom. I made it to see all 3 different sides of town. So then when I got back home, I worked on a puzzle. Because I was prepping for the launch party, so I was like, I'm gonna get all the pieces done that I can. So I was working on a puzzle when I got home. Then Saturday, worked on some puzzles some more and all that, right? Then Sunday was the launch party. When I tell y'all I was exhausted Monday, I should have took that Monday off. I was exhausted. Okay. So that let me know, between running around Friday and then the launch party Sunday, and I was so exhausted Monday, I'm not going to be able to do like do her event, her son's party, and then the next day turn around and do my event. So I had to tell her, I couldn't do it. But she was like, I understand, and I know it's, last minute. Technically, it's not really last minute because it's still a few months. Under normal circumstances, I could be ready, but because I have another event the very next day, I just couldn't, right? And that's a lesson because I'm not overextending. I've, back in my young years, I probably would have tried to figure out a way I could do both. No, I'm not overextending myself these days. But she said, well, take my number, lock me in, take my number. I'm gonna keep your number because if you haven't, I wanna, make sure you let me know about that next event your cousin was telling me about, and she showed me some pictures and it sounded like fun. That's something I would enjoy. I want to come to the next one. That's support. Sometimes support is just word of mouth. And when I tell you, y'all, I just launched in March. These business opportunities are popping up like crazy. And some of them, I haven't mentioned yet because I'm going to show y'all when it happens, And then I had an idea. Oh my gosh. And this morning while I was doing some work, I told you I bought a machine that allows me to do some stuff. And, I was doing some work. I was working on some things for the launch. And an idea came to mind. And I'm like, if I can pull this off the way I'm, envisioning it in my mind, it's going to be huge. I posted a status earlier on my Facebook and I said, this thing is about to be bigger than I ever imagined. And I really feel like it is, especially if I can pull off some of these ideas that I have, like I can really get it done. And I think I can, like they're not, all I need is the time to really, master some things, get a hang of some things. It's going to be big, y'all. I really believe it. So I'm glad I'm shooting this video and I'm glad I'm saying it because when it happens, I can reflect back, May 20, what's the date? The 24th, May 24th, 2024. I said that this thing was going to be big. And I want y'all to see that I said it too because, we're going to talk about the power of manifestation one of these days too. I'm not going to get into that right now because this video will be 2 hours long. But as a matter of fact, I'm going to do a video on the power of manifestation as it pertains to this. Do y'all know I spoke this business into existence, not even knowing that I was speaking this business into existence, but I spoke it. I'm not going to get myself started, but y'all not going to believe how the pieces of this business puzzle then fell into place. And how things that I was saying was pertaining to this business for years and I didn't even realize it, okay? Business wasn't even no way on my mind. But the things that I spoke manifested right into this business. So before we hit an hour and 30 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and end it for real this time. And I'm going to watch one of my shows and do the puzzle while I'm watching the show. And this puzzle, I already started it. This one right here, I already started it and also already has quite a few of the pieces together. So I should at least be able to get this one done. I don't know, we'll see. But if you watch this whole video, the whole hour and almost 20 minutes, I thank you. And again, it's the neighborhood insurance lady. And I'm wishing you love, laughter, and pieces of the puzzle. Until next time. Bye.